You already know that whiskey is distilled and comes off the still looking like this, and the barrel makes it look like this. You've probably noticed this tastes a lot different than this, and what's really changed is you start to get a lot more sweet, caramel, vanilla notes, and that's from the wood. What the marketing world has kind of twisted is what actually in the barrel causes this flavor. Let's correct some things. For starters, we hear a lot that in the US, we have to char our barrels. That means that you're taking the barrel and you're burning the inside. You're literally lighting the inside of the barrel on fire. There are some amazing stories about how, hey, this was done by accident and it ended up being really good, so people kept doing it. Realistically, there's probably two stories. Number one is that wood was much easier to bend when it was lightly toasted or warmed up. So this is how toasting to kind of form and structure the barrel got its start. Number two, when you are, let's say, using a barrel to store things like fish. You've been fishing, you need a container to carry this fish from place A to B because you're going to trade it. A barrel is a good place to do this. You'll fill a barrel with fish. Now, there's not a lot of barrels hanging around the world for you to just pick up and start using, so you might end up dumping that fish, keeping the barrel, and then going to buy some whiskey. That might not taste so good, I think you can imagine. So what do? Well, to kind of reset or to wash out those off flavors in your barrel, you would char it. Marketers would like you to believe that the more char you have, the more intense flavors and aromas you're getting from this barrel. But think about it. If you are charcoal filtering your water, do you get flavors? You shouldn't. In fact, you should be reducing and stripping down different flavors. And that is what high char barrels actually do. You see, high char builds up a little amount of coal on the inside that whiskey needs to travel in and out of in order to get to the wood, the actual wood tannins and sugars. Let me give you another example for you coffee drinkers out there. Many people think, and marketing and TV makes you think that, hey, a dark roast coffee, that's got the most intense flavor and the most caffeine. Completely wrong. The more you roast and you heat up that bean, the more consistent burnt flavor you have, but the less caffeine because that actually gets broken down. Same in a barrel. What a more charred barrel will help you do, however, is get a little bit more of this color and a lot less of this, but that's more in the eye of the beholder. And don't forget, it's pretty common practice these days for a large distillery to be adding caramel coloring to a whiskey. So does it really matter? But don't you worry, it still plays an effect. In fact, if you have a really robust, heavy whiskey, it makes a lot more sense to be using high charred woods to help calm it down and to reduce some of those intense flavors that you could be creating, especially if the goal is a smoother end product. But if you're looking for a more oily, more tannin, wood-influenced whiskey, you're actually better off going for a lower char. And just something to leave you with, the toast, which is another factor you might hear some distilleries talk about, plays a much bigger impact on what wood components are made ready for whiskey to come play with and extract. With that, cheers to you and your Char 1, 2, 3, 4 or crazier whiskey. Bye now.